headquarters of common sense.
Talk Radio.
Oh, good afternoon. I've only just heard, actually. I've been in North Kent resting up, and I just got a call from your station. That's the first I've heard.
Oh.
So I'm still, if you like, taking it in, taking it on board.
Indeed.
Yeah, obviously very, very, very sad. But, I mean, on the plus side, we spent some very happy times together. And over the last few months, when she hasn't been so well, I have been to visit her on quite a few occasions. So a bit like with my real mother, we kind of said our goodbyes because we knew that it was going to come at some point,
Yeah.
So it's I'm very sad, and I knew it was going to happen sooner or later, probably, this year, and I shall miss my dear friend.
I'm sure you will, John. She was, 30, quite aside from the fact that, at 95 is an incredible innings for anybody, of course, but, 35 years in Albert Square, that's a long time. I mean, you were there, in the early days as well, and you've sort of been in and out of the soap, of course, over those years. But 35 years is a long time, and she didn't. I mean, obviously she had to slow down a little bit in her last sort of set of appearances, but nonetheless, I mean, that's a magnificent run for any actor. Yes,
and she was fantastic to work with, very giving, and she'd been in the business a lot longer than I had, obviously, and so she'd give me little tips now and again, and we worked really hard on everything we did, because in a soap, the schedule is so fast and furious, it's kind of like learn the lines, go on set and film it. It's like instant television in a way. No rehearsals on set, and so we just make that point of meeting in her dressing room, not when the days when I just wanted to have a ciggy and a coffee, and we just go over it that bit more and draw more out of what we were performing. So I think from that point, and I just think we were a good team.
Oh, they were. I mean, your scenes with with Dot, Nick and Dot on screen together. I mean, these are classic soap moments, aren't they? I mean, they're right up there.
Yeah, quite amusing in a way. That's some of it as well.
There was an underpinning of humour there too.
There was a sort of dark, kind of Orson-esque humour.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, kind of dark, but yeah.
Absolutely. I did meet June a couple of times, and the one thing that stood out for me, John, was that she was, one of the most perfectly normal people that you could meet. And I remember, she obviously loved a cigarette, and similar to as you were saying, I remember sitting there and smoking away at a table at some do, and she was just very decent, very normal. She was like, when I grew up, the lady that lived next door. She was that kind of character, right?
June had time for everyone, and she did so much charity work. I mean, I've done a lot over the years, and I used to tell her to slow down. I said, June, you can't say yes to everything, Donkeys was one of her great loves, bless her, and all many others, Lord's Taverners, Cancer, etc. So, she gave out a lot. She was a very giving soul, and as you say, down to earth, and she's a good laugh. Sometimes she'd still be partying, and I'd go home. Bless her heart.
And she will always be, in terms of EastEnders itself, if you were doing the pub quiz in 20 years' time and somebody said, name a famous character from EastEnders, Dot Cotton will always be up there.
Yes, a legendary lady, yeah.
Indeed.
Yes, a wonderful soul.
John, listen, thank you for speaking with us. I know it's always hard when it's a close friend, despite the fact that you've been in touch, and she was clearly very frail in her last months. But thank you, John Altman, of course, who played Nasty Nick. He was Nick Cotton, Dot's son, in EastEnders for all those years. They were really funny scenes, actually, weren't they? With All Right, Ma. He was like a proper horrible bloke. But wonderful to speak with John. And, it's kind of respectful news that somebody reached 95, and I think we can all mark that as being an absolutely splendid innings, and managed, in terms of popular culture, to weave into the fabric of the television story of this country. And there are those greats that you were never going to forget, who appear in soap operas. Whatever people think of soaps, etc., they are watched by multiple millions. And over a 35-year period, I mean, Lord knows, is there anyone in the country that doesn't know who Dot Cotton is? June Brown, who died today aged 95. We're going to be back with your calls on Talk Radio next.
Good talk.
Hot talk. Bold talk. Talk Radio.
Listen on your smart speaker.
Watch it live on your smart TV.
The world headquarters of common sense.
Talk Radio.